I don't know why it just fucking does stupid shit like that.
With first of its kind melting Pro V pearls. Locks in moisture repairs.
That's the risk you take by fucking not recording it. Is that you fucking, if it goes out.
Resilient, healthy looking hair. If you know it's Pantene.
No, I'm not buying that.
The view's on fire this February with the one and only Jennifer Lopez, the hilarious Amy Schumer, and get ready to get schooled with Abbott Elementary's Cheryl Lee Roth and Tyler James Williams. This month on The View.
ABC7's Cheryl Scott sharing her personal fertility journey, freezing her eggs for the future. The challenging process.
Fingers crossed.
The empowering choice, facing fertility.
Oh, blow it out your ass. Oh, what a brave woman. She's freezing her eggs. That's a common thing.
Award nominee Megan Hilty and Tony Award nominee Jennifer Samard.
Or does that mean that she's having trouble getting pregnant, so she's freezing her eggs just in case she can't get pregnant in the next 4 or 5 years? Oh, Cheryl wants to have stupid babies.
Wait for it, the pre-Broadway world premiere of Death Becomes Her. Musical comedy revitalized. Performances begin April 30th at the Cadillac Palace Theater. Get tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Yeah, you must be a senior copywriter by now.
No, I left the agency.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it because of that guy, Kevin? He was a real weirdo.
No, I married him.
I'm actually married to him now.
See? Oh.
Congratulations.
Predictable.
Yeah, he's great.
Is this the fifth season or sixth season?
Sixth.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That went fast.
Very fast.
Okay, so bring us up to speed.
So up to speed this season, Darlene, as you can see, is not doing as well as she'd like to. She had a corporate job and then she wanted to get her son into college and she couldn't afford it. So she took a job as a lunch lady to get a tuition break there. So he's dealing with her at the school, which is every kid's dream, right? and then Dan and Louise are finally sort of empty nesters now that all their middle-aged children have left the house. But we're always back over there. And Becky's in a new relationship with Sean Astin. And we had Nick Offerman was on the is on the premiere. He's amazing in it.
I love Nick Offerman so much.
He's so good, and he plays sort of a nightmare celebrity chef that comes in to redo the lunchbox. And yeah, it's worth seeing for sure. He and Laurie Metcalf go head to head.
Oh, Laurie Metcalf.
Do you still have the same crew, the same team? Is it mostly all the same people?
It is. I mean, I wouldn't say mostly all the same, but when we staffed up, it was really important, I think, to all of us to get as many original crew people as possible. So it's amazing to look out and see the AD that was there 35 years ago, and it's a total dream. It is really I know people say work becomes family, and it does, but this is oh my god, this is really my family.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, we love having you here.
Love being here.
8 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Next, we're gonna slumping Mark. I'm not a slump. I know what you're talking about. I'm not a slump.
My tip is the
It's
worst.
kind of like when you have two parents that work, or two parents that have a kid, and one of them works and the other stays at home with the kid, and you kind of do the math. And even though you might say, well, the one person's not making any income, but when you do the math, you realize that you actually end up saving more money at the end of the year if one person works and one person takes care of the kid at home, as opposed to both parents working and then hiring a nanny or a babysitter or paying for daycare. You make 50 grand, I make 50 grand, but daycare is you make 100 grand a year and I make 50 grand a year, but daycare costs 30 grand a year. You know what I mean? That leaves us with a net of 120.
A fifth third better means an early payday.
Terry, it's coming early.
Like if you make 40 grand a year and I make 40 grand a year, but daycare is like 25 grand a year, that leaves us with a net of 55 grand. Right?
Okay, I got the bag. I got the keys. Who do you want me to call?
But the 5 grand a
It's coming
year,
early.
when you include traveling, gasoline, driving, right? You know, how much would you be paying for lunch when you go out to lunch? All that stuff, and you figure out it's actually better. Plus, there's no price.
Banking.
You can't put a price on the kid growing up with a parent taking care of them instead of going to a daycare center. You know, down the road, they're going to be like, you weren't even my real mom. You know, Miss Jefferson was.
Fifth
She
third
took
better.
care. Miss Jefferson took care of me more than you did.
Cameron Hall, they are the Bachelor Nation couple going viral after claiming a wedding shop is charging black brides extra. Plus, two-time Soccer World Cup champion.
A bachelor couple. Is that a girl or a guy?
On the next Cameron Hall, they are the Bachelor Nation couple going viral after claiming a wedding shop is charging black brides extra. Plus, two-time Soccer World Cup champion Ali Krieger says it's time to level the playing field for women in sports. Next Cameron Hall.
Today at 1 on ABC 7.
You know, we can all agree that when it comes to playing Stump Mark, you did not have a stellar January.
Agreed.
Okay, and your February, up until today, was off to a shaky start.
Okay.
So it's time to bring in a professional to get you out of your stump slump.
Yeah.
I mean, I like you in your stump slump, but... Oh, thank you. Thank you. Here to help is the author of Hidden Potential, The Science of Achieving Greater Things,
Fucking fix your
psychologist
hair.
Adam
There's nothing
Grant.
wrong with your hair, bitch. He fucking does that. He fucking like moves her hair. And she's like, oh, thank you. Like, I didn't know I had that. Trust me, if she had hair that was in front of her eyeballs, or if it was bothering her, she'd fix it herself. There's nothing wrong with the hair. You fix it. It's almost like saying, oh, babe, sorry, let me fix that. You look kind of ugly with that one hair. Like, give me a break. They're so fake. At least if it's authentic, fine. But when they're faking this like love and shit for camera, that's disgusting. That's what you're resorting to at your fucking age, especially with Kelly's experience in this fucking game.
So I'm not sure if this is achieving a greater thing, breaking Mark out of the stump, slump. But have you seen the game?
I've definitely seen the game.
Okay.
Today was a pleasant surprise.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised.
What do you think went wrong or right as it?
Yeah, give me some tips. Well, I think the first thing is I think it's time to study the game tape.
Okay.
You've had a bunch of failures and some success. What differentiates them? Have you ever looked back? No. All right, you have some homework to do.
All right.
Okay, so you want him to go back and actually watch the show?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not doing that. Once he gets home, he takes off his pants and starts fucking.
You ever looked back?
And starts fucking a watermelon.
No. All right, you have some homework to do.
All right.
Okay, so you want him to go back and actually watch the show?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, the one I believe it was yesterday. After thinking about it, it seemed a little bit. That was an easy one. I could have. That was Barbies or something like that. Yeah, that was an easy one. That was a gimme. I should have known that.
What do you think about Mark's overall questioning style?
Well, I think he's doing something right, which is he's focusing more on the verbals than the nonverbals. There's a whole science of lie detection that says you want to listen to what people say more than looking at their face.
Well, I can't see them.
Well, that helps.
Yeah, they're on the phone. If I could see them, it'd be over.
You should be doing better.
I don't think so at all. No, but I think there are some ways to improve your questions a little bit.
Okay, tell me.
If you want.
Yes.
Do you want to get better at this?
I want to get better.
Okay.
I want to be perfect.
So first thing I have to say is you might improve your.
He just said, I want to be perfect. He strives for unrealistic goals.
Success rate from 48 to 55% if you get.
He's a narcissist. He's obsessed with perfection, being perfect, and having, more importantly,
48 to 55% if you get good at this. So
Mark is obsessed with people thinking he's perfect and thinking he's the best. So he will lie and deceive you if that makes you think that, even if it's not
really good at catching
true
lies,
and
like,
pure.
within the household.
Interrogation
skills, credit card bills, that kinds of things. He's really good at catching those lies. But very often our guests will give like detailed answers. Is there a way, because Mark feels like the more they talk, then he's convinced that's the lie. But now I think the audience has figured that out, so they just talk and talk and talk.
They're beating you your own game.
So they are.
Because initially, if I would have revealed that was my trick, I shouldn't have revealed that, right?
No, don't give away your secrets.
Because now people are doing it on purpose.
One of the things you can do is you could ask them which statement is true and which one is false, and ask them to defend it. And it's harder to defend a lie than the truth.
Oh.
I mean, try that at your own risk. I don't know if it's going to work for you, but the evidence says it works on average better than not asking.
So asking them to defend the statements, each one.
Exactly.
I see.
And then see where they struggle more.
Are there any tips that you can use for detecting lies in actual people that we encounter every day?
You can try. So I would say you don't want to grill them with a million questions right off the bat. Ask them one question, let them tell a story, and then look for the inconsistencies. And maybe, ideally, you ask them questions you already know the answer to, and then you can catch them.
I do that a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, because I do get the answer. I get the questions a couple minutes before I go on stage, so I figure out certain questions.
I look it up on the internet.
It rarely works.
I figure out.
You only have 60 seconds. I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Another thing you could do in real life is you could have them tell their story backward. So police interrogators do this. They'll say, so what did you do this morning? I woke up, I had breakfast, I brushed my teeth. Okay, now tell me backward. I brushed my teeth, I had breakfast, I woke up. It's harder to tell the lie backward than the truth because the lie is harder to remember than the truth.
Some people aren't accomplished liars, though. Would you not agree? Like, some people lie so much that they begin to believe the lie. So how do you detect lies in, like, sociopaths?
I mean, the great psychologist George Costanza, I think, put it best. He said it's not a lie if you believe it.
There you go. Sometimes we play the game in person. Mark has an abysmal record of playing the game in person when he can look at the person. So what are tips for that?
Okay, one of the best things you can do is ask them to stare into your eyes as they tell you the story.
Okay, and then what am I looking for?
You're looking for nothing. What you're trying to do is distract them so that they forget the details of their life.
I'm very distracting.
That's the goal. Mission accomplished.
Jane Krakowski locked eyes with you the whole time, and you screwed it up.
I know.
Completely.
So did Probst.
Yeah, Probst did too. They locked eyes with you.
Yeah.
Doesn't work every time. You're just going to improve your probability.
So people deal with slumps in general, just in life. What can we do to, like, regular people not playing this game, but just like they're having a bad spell at work, in sports, in school? What's a great way to break the cycle of the slump?
I think the place I start is to think about who's counting on you. We often lose sight of the purpose of what we're doing. And, well, you're Michigan fans now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I went to grad school there and grew up there.
Okay. So you get it.
I mean, I think I was born getting it, I guess. But I was invited into a call center there where these callers were really having a hard time staying motivated. They were in a huge slump. They try to fundraise from alumni. They get rejected all the time.
Yeah.
And one caller had a sign on the wall that said, "Doing a good job here is like wetting your pants in a dark suit." You get a warm feeling, but no one else notices.
That's funny.
That's funny.
So the big question is, what do we do to get them out of their slump? And easy answer is we bring in a scholarship student to tell them where the money goes. And then they work harder and they raise more money.
Great advice. Yeah. Thank you, Adam. Pick up his book, Hidden Potential, The Science of Achieving Greater Things. Available everywhere books are sold. We'll be right back. Live will return in a moment.
So, all right. So tell me about your German Shepherds. What were their three names? And look me in the eyes when you answer this question. I politely declined your request. Their names were Fruity.
But statins can also deplete.
Their names were Fruity, Joey, and Coco. All right. Well, that's the end of the show. That's kind of, it helps when you watch it live because you know you're going to be done by 10:30.
Macy's, the fragrance destination.
No inbox today, huh?
Eggland's best.
I am Tony Hawk, and like many of you, I take a statin.
Come on, dude.
Our producer.
Q10. Qnol, the brand I trust.
Hey, check this out. Our producer, Christine, Connolly's son, Sean, with the foam finger 3. Sean and his little brother, Owen, recently cheered on their cousin.
That means
CJ,
white
who
power.
wrestles at Penn.
That's a sign for white supremacy. Wrigley Field
Your
officials.
same window
Wrigley
and door
Field's
installation method.
owner.
Our installers have installed.
Wrigley Field and Chicago Cubs owner Tom Ricketts and the Ricketts family said that means white power and it's a white supremacy thing. So because they said it, it must be true. They even banned someone from the ballpark for life for doing that. Google it. Search it.
That is so great to hear, Michael. Thank you.
Employee pricing is back.
Oh my God. Go, go, go. Come on, Tony Hawk. Oh my God. Tony.
But statins can also deplete CoQ10 level. Q10. Qnol, the brand I trust.
Hey, check this out. Our producer, Christine, Connolly's son, Sean, with the foam finger 3. Sean and his little brother, Owen, recently cheered on their cousin, CJ, who wrestles at Penn. And on tomorrow's show, Camila Mendez will be here.
So we celebrate the Lunar New Year.
And a performance by JP Sachs. So we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye-bye.
Debate live Thursday at 7.
The View starts live right now. Bonded by blood. Will yesterday's landmark verdict that found a mother shared the blame for her son's school shooting be a wake-up call for parental responsibility?
We find the defendant guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
Or could it hold parents accountable for crimes that are out of their control? Plus, Emmy winner Cheryl Lee Ralph is live to talk about getting back in the classroom for the new season of Abbott Elementary. And Dylan Sprouse on how he's going from a beautiful disaster to a beautiful wedding. Here come Hot Topics with Whoopi, Sarah Haynes, Anna Navarro, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Alyssa Farrell Griffin. Now, let's get things started.
Welcome to the View. Have a seat, Sean. Have a seat. We love all of you. We love us now. All right, I'm going to give you to 3 to yell to anybody you love. Just yell it out right now, okay?
My balls!
I don't think I understood one name and all that. Somebody said one. Well, I heard Boricua, so I know that's
Boricua.
yes, Puerto Rico.
Oh, I know what
So-
it means.
Oh, Fight it to
Puertorriqueños. Puertorriqueños.
We haven't even started.
Puertorriqueños. What the hell wrong? Puertorriqueño.
So yesterday, a jury decided the fate of Jennifer Crumbly, who was on trial for her son's deadly school shooting of one of the victims' parents, Craig Schilling, whose son Justin was killed, was at the courthouse and reacted after the verdict came in. Take a look.
On count 1 of involuntary manslaughter, we find the defendant guilty. On count 2 of involuntary manslaughter, guilty. On count 3, as to involuntary manslaughter, guilty. And count 4, guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
You wouldn't have to go through any of this if you would have just done your job as a parent. And she said it, that he was feeling depressed and back in April. that was a long time before this happened. So we had a chance to do it, and you didn't. And now it's your time.
Yeah. The shooter's father.
Look at that girl. That girl coming out of the.
Now it's your time.
Yeah.
Back in April, that was a long time before this happened. So
look at this girl coming out of the door.
We had a chance to do it.
She planned this. She's acting like, oh, I didn't know there was a camera here. She's like, what? Oh, hey. And she's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. The shooter's father is on trial next month. And their son is in prison for life with no possibility of parole. So the question I guess people have is, will holding parents accountable like this end up saving lives? Personally, I think yes. And I think it's time that parents are held accountable because it's the only way parents are going to pay attention. I'm a parent.
Yeah.
And until there's something that says, oops, listen, okay, this is really bad. It's a quick old story. When I was a kid, they used to say to you, now look, do not leave the house with dirty underwear on.
That's right.
Because if you get hit by a bus,
Yep, they'll see it.
You're going to end up in the hospital and people are going to see your underwear and they're going to blame me.
Yes. That story continued in that family.
And I used to think, well, aren't you worried that I got hit by the bus? But I tell you that story because that's the accountability that was drilled into us.
Yeah,
you had to know your children had to represent you.
Yes.
So I wonder if you also think that it's something that parents will.
There were so many levels to this tragedy, though.
Yeah.
First of all, the boy was diagnosed with anxiety, major depression, OCD, and he was experiencing psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
This is from the expert during the trial. Okay, so you have a kid who's out of control and mentally ill. Then you have the unfit parents who don't know what to do. They give the kid a gun, even though they know that the kid is not right. So the parents can't be trusted. Then on top of that, you've got the NRA, the gun makers, and all of these politicians who refuse to put legitimate and incredibly smart gun laws in place. And so you have this terrible tragedy in America because of all of these various, levels of what's the word? Of negligence.
Yeah.
Of negligence. Yeah. You cannot really rely on a parent of a psychotic child to know what to do either. They don't know what they're doing either.
But there's some undeniable stats. When you have a gun in the house, a woman is 5 times more likely to die at a domestic abuser's hands.
Right.
You are 3 times more likely to have a suicide in your house and 2 times more likely to be a part of a homicide. So we know those facts to be true. How is it that no one can pass a law about even keeping the guns safe? Only 27 states, which means almost about half, don't have these laws.
Right.
That if you have a deadly weapon in your house, it should be protected. Mm-hmm. We don't have things about licensing, safety permits, anything else. We don't have to register. We don't have to wait. There's no waiting periods in all these states. We can't agree on gun responsibility. So until we hold someone accountable, like this parent who let a lot of signs pass. And honestly, the school administration holds some responsibility here. A teacher reported that this child had a problem looking up ammunition in the school. They didn't check the bag when he came in for a meeting and the parents rushed out. So there are layers to this, but holding parents accountable will also make sure they're alert to what's going on with their own kids.
I hope that's right.
So if you're not going to hold anyone accountable and you're not going to pass a bill to protect us, the parents are going to get in trouble. And so if you're someone that doesn't think it's fair that the parents go to jail or get in trouble and are held accountable, then pass a law that allows us to put the blame on someone else that is more responsible than the parents. You can't, especially, think about it. In a case, what if it's a single parent? They work 2 jobs. They can't keep an eye on their kid all the time.
Hands. Is it really their fault? You are 3 times more likely to have a suicide in your house and 2 times more likely to be a part of a homicide. So we know those facts to be true.
That's why they're a single parent.
How is it that no one can pass a law about even keeping the guns safe? Only 27 states, which means almost about half, don't have these laws.
Right.
That if you have a deadly weapon in your house, it should be protected. We don't have things about licensing, safety permits, anything else. We don't have to register. We don't have to wait. There's no waiting periods in all these states. We can't agree on gun responsibilities. So until we hold someone accountable, like this parent who let a lot of signs pass. And honestly, the school administration holds some responsibility here. A teacher reported that this child had a problem looking up ammunition in the school. They didn't check the bag when he came in for a meeting and the parents rushed out. So there are layers to this, but holding parents accountable will also make sure they're alert to what's going on with their own kids.
I hope that's right. I know we're all parents, well, almost all parents, but it's a hard job, right? And so, to be clear, I'm not trying to get America, but continue.
What we will have a premonition. We have to watch that.
But I do think parenting is a really difficult job. There's sometimes I agree with that, and sometimes teens don't speak to their parents about what they're feeling and what they're going through. But it really is up to the parent to find out what's going on with your kid. And I think it's part of gun culture, which is everything that you're describing, Joy. Yeah. In this area in Michigan where this occurred, many of the households have guns. Yeah. So the neighborhood was sort of a gun culture neighborhood. They gave this kid this gun at age 15 for Christmas. I don't understand when giving someone an instrumentality of death as a Christmas gift became appropriate in certain parts of the country.
Did you ever see Lauren Boebert's Christmas card?
Yes.
She poses with her children with AR-15s.
Yes.
Well, that is an elected official of this country.
I think it's the right decision, and I think it's a win for responsible gun ownership. The Second Amendment does not protect your right to negligently, dangerously, and recklessly own a gun. It simply doesn't. And this, I think, is a smart precedent. I don't think it's overreaching in any way. It puts responsibilities. This kid's a minor. He was 15 years old. He pleaded for help with his parents. He had sketches of him doing a school shooting. He Googled ammunition, to your point. And the school officials, they were meeting with him that day. He was in the office with his mom and with school officials the day he committed the crime, and they let him go back to school. He should have been put on a 24-hour hold. He should have gotten mental health care, but he should never have had access to the gun, and the mom bears responsibility.
But the common denominator is the gun. All of these other factors we wouldn't have to worry about if guns were not so accessible.
And by the way, I agree largely on a lot of the reforms we need around guns. You need to, if you have a minor in the house, you have to safely keep it. This is violating the basic rules that any gun owner should be following.
I do wonder, though, will it have that chilling? Okay. I do wonder, will it have a chilling effect? Will parents here in these
we'll find out.
Really,
we'll find out.
She may go to jail for 60 years.
Yeah.
60 years.
Well, sometimes a consequence, we're a consequence-free society, unless, of course, you're a drag queen. Then there are consequences for doing anything.
Right.
But in these kinds of things, we seem to be a consequence-free society. And it's time that parents know that, just like in the old days, you're going to be responsible for your kid.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, important. You have a thing.
I have a legal note. Jennifer Crumbly's husband, James, is scheduled to go on trial on the same charges in early March. He has pleaded not guilty.
So, reasons of what? Psychotic
behavior. We'll be right back.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his
dick wouldn't get hard, so my mom left him. And she cheated on him with my sister. My sister wore a strap-on and had sex with my mom. If my dad would have only drank more green juice and took in pills. Hi, I'm Henry Winkler from Happy Days. I've had sex multiple times without the help of what I'm about to pitch to you. But I'm telling you now, times have changed. My father is going to get help, and here's why.
Vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like straight lines that seem wavy, blurry or missing visual spots that make it hard to see faces, like this one, or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. GA is irreversible. It's important to catch it early. Talk to your eye doctor about GA and learn more at GAWon'tWait.com.
If I would have kept making only the minimum payments on my credit cards, my debt would have taken me 47 years to pay off.
Whether it's credit card, medical, or personal loan debt, National Debt Relief negotiates with your creditors to reduce the amount you owe.
National Debt Relief reduced my debt by about 40%.
And you could be debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months. Call or visit nationaldebtrelief.com to find out how you can become debt-free.
The right age for Neutrogena retinol? That's whenever you want it to be. It has derm-proven retinol that targets vital cell turnover, even skin tone, and smooths fine lines. With visible results in just 1 week. Neutrogena retinol.
For your most brilliant smile, Crest has you covered.
Nice smile, bro.
Nice, thanks. Crest 3D White, 100% more stain removal. Crest.
It's a kind of hurly. My bitch is kind of curly. I
The
rock
shape
all
that
around to
stole
rock
your
that
heart
clack,
is
tick,
back.
clack, 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 clack. It's trick to rock all around to rock the round to rock. That's right. It's tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Brrr. Oh. Ooh, show off your eczema. Do you have eczema? Use duplicants for your eczema. Yeah, I'm not a commercial person. Thank you for watching. Episode's done. Sorry for everyone that missed the Sara Gilbert. I'm going to try to lead this on and see if I could get you a terrible view of what you missed, but that's the best I could do. Like, dislike. Thank you to my one person that watched me for like 15 minutes. That was amazing. I feel like my mental health is cured and I can so positively inspired to go change the world. Thank you. Thank you, social media, for changing my life. All right, see you next time. Eat my ass. But make sure you use peanut butter and jelly because my shit doesn't taste very good. Unlike my dad's, it tastes like